Welcome back to your online class. So in our previous class we have discussed about what is transpiration, right? And what all did we discuss? Different experiments related to transpiration. So within that experiment we are left with one more experiment which I will be explaining you today. So that experiment, the aim of the experiment is to prove that the dorsal side of the leaf, that means the lower side of the leaf, it contains more amount of stomata, because of which the more amount of transpiration occurs through the lower side, the dorsal side, as compared to the upper side, that is ventral side. Okay, unequal release of water, loss of water from the two sides of a leaf, that is upper as well and lower, that I will be explaining you today. Okay. So this experiment, like I told you, it's to demonstrate the different magnitude of transpiration from the two surface of a dicot leaf. Okay, the upper surface and the lower surface. Upper surface also known as ventral side and the lower one is known as dorsal side. Okay, like I told you, your dorsal side has more amount of stomata as compared to the upper side. So which side do you think will have a more water, more magnitude or more amount of water loss, lower or the upper? Lower one. Okay, so here also we are taking an indicator. Which indicator are we taking? If you can look at this, we are taking a cobalt paper. If you what did I tell you about the cobalt paper in our last class? That cobalt paper, if it comes in without the presence of water, it is blue in color, but as soon as it comes in contact with the water, what color will it change? Pink. So pink indicates that there is a water present in that particular environment, right? So we will take a leaf. Okay, we will take two cobalt paper, we will take two slide. Okay, now on the one cobalt paper along with the slide, we will place it in the upper side, and one cobalt paper along with the slide, we will keep it in the lower side, and then we will clip it. Okay, and we will keep this setup for few hours. Okay, so in order to let the transpiration occur, we will let that setup for few hours in sunlight. After few hours, what will we visualize? We will see or observe that the lower side of the cobalt paper has turned pink in color, and the upper side is still blue in color. So what does it prove? This proves that the lower side, the transpiration occurs at a higher magnitude as compared to the upper side. Okay, so this particular experiment is very much important. From time and again they have asked you question from this experiment. Okay, which side of the leaf the magnitude of transpiration is higher? Why are they using cobalt paper? What will before keeping the setup into the sunlight and after keeping the setup, what is the result being observed? They will ask you this kind of question. So this particular experiment is very much important. Okay, now next we will be discussing about the adaptation that is brought about by some plants in order to reduce the rate of transpiration. Okay, discussing about few of the adaptation which is brought about by the plants of a region where the water content in that particular region is very less, so they cannot let more amount of transpiration to occur. Okay, because plants, if the rate of transpiration is more than what is being absorbed by the roots, and that will lead to the wilting of the plant, and eventually they may even die off. So there are certain plants which brings about certain adaptation in the leaf, because of which the rate of transpiration is reduced, okay, in order to remain alive. So what are those adaptation? Number one is sunken stomata. Sunken stomata means the stomata is generally squeezed enough of a smaller size, so that the stomata is nothing but the pore, right? When the pore is reduced, that means the rate of transpiration will also be reduced. Okay, and sometimes these pores are covered with a hairy structure. Okay, in plants such as Nerium, you have this kind of adaptation. Okay, and in some of the plants, the leaves of the plants, the stomata, amount of stomata is generally very less, so that the less amount of transpiration occurs. Okay, Some of them have a narrow leaves. Narrow leaves means less amount of stomata, right? And some of them have reduced exposed surface of the leaves. That means leaves are either rolled or wavy, okay, because of which the portion of the leaf exposed to the air is less, okay. And another one is thick cuticle. Some of the trees or plants, they have a thick cuticle, means the outermost waxy layer, okay. If they have a thick cuticle, that means the loss of water in the form of water vapor from the leaves will be less, okay. That is generally banyan trees, they are very huge, right. The amount of water that they require will also be much more, right. So in those plants, the cuticle is generally very thick. Cuticle means it's a thick waxy outermost layer, okay, is present in the leaf. So if the cuticle is thick, the loss of water will be less, okay. Now in some of the plants which are present in desert area like cactus, the leaves of these plants are modified into a thorn like structure, which is referred to as spine, okay. Their thorny structure, those thorny structure are actually the modified leaf. In order to reduce the loss of water, okay, the leaves itself gets modified into this thorn like structure called spine, okay, because desert means less amount of water around, right. So in order to avoid that, the leaves are modified into this thorn like structure. So these are the different adaptation that is brought about by the plants in order to reduce the loss of water, okay, through transpiration. Other than through transpiration, there are other process through which we will be discussing about the direct loss of the water from the plants, okay, other than through transpiration. Those two processes are guttation and bleeding. First let us discuss about guttation. What is guttation is, in a atmosphere humid, plants grown in a warm humid place, okay. Humid means the water contained in the moisture atmosphere is already more, okay. So in those regions, the rate of transpiration will decrease, because already the atmosphere contains more amount of water than what it can bear. But roots, they continuously absorb the water from the soil. So when they continuously absorb the water from the soil, then what happens is the hydrostatic pressure is built up, because when you are continuously taking up the water but there is no release of the water from the plants, then the hydrostatic pressure is built up within the plant, because of which the water is released from the veins into the leaf margins, and these leaf margins, they have a special pore called hydrothorax, through which this excess water is released, okay. This usually takes place at the morning time when the absorption rate is very much high, okay. So this takes place in the plants like banana or strawberry, okay. Because of this build up in the pressure, the water is exuded out of the leaf margins, okay. That generally takes place in morning time when the rate of absorption is very high, okay. So that's all about guttation. Now next we will deal with the bleeding. Okay, now next one is bleeding. Now accidentally, if you cut off the shoot of a plant, any plant, what can you see? You can see that whitish color cell sap is oozing out of that shoot, right. It's from wherever you have cut in that region, the cell sap is oozing out, okay. So that's also the release of the water, because cell sap means along with the water, a combination of the minerals, that's cell sap. So this is also somehow sometimes accidentally and sometimes knowingly also people cut off the shoot for grafting or cutting purposes. At that time also the water oozes out of the plant, okay. So that's bleeding. When you cut off the shoot portion or any portion of a plant and the cells are oozing out of the plant, that's because of the root pressure, which we have already discussed earlier. So because of the root pressure, the cell sap oozes out of the plant, okay. So that's referred to as bleeding. So that's all about this chapter. In this chapter we will basically focus on what is transpiration. different experiments. Do not skip any experiment that's related, and you have very easy experiments, very easy to be understood. Okay, so you will go through all these experiments and what are the different adaptation internally as well as go through though the syllabus has asked you to omit the external portion, but it's very easy and you have done that in your previous junior classes too. So just go through it once, okay, and then you go in brief about guttation and bleeding. They will just sometimes ask you in definition what is guttation or what is bleeding. Okay, so that's all about this chapter. We had very short or brief chapter regarding transpiration. Next day I will follow it up with the question and answer of this particular chapter, and then I will follow, we will start the new chapter from plant physiology, that is photosynthesis. Now before I start the chapter photosynthesis, I want you people to also go through the photosynthesis portion by yourself, okay, because this chapter is not new to you. We have been hearing about photosynthesis in our previous classes, junior classes too. So you yourself also go through those chapters so that whenever you go through the video, it becomes easier for you to understand what I am trying to convey. Okay, thank you so much.